to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with?
And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 1, episode number 17. And waiting in the green room, I don't have 1, I don't have 2, I don't have 3. I'm looking at 4 special guests tonight, all of which have been on our show before. So let's meet our first one tonight, and it's Big Sexy himself. We got Rick Bradshaw. How you doing, brother?
How's it going? How's everybody tonight?
Doing good, doing good. We pulled this guy in. He didn't even know until about 10 minutes ago he's going to be on the show. This is Mr. Patrick Grain. How you doing, sir?
Good. How is everybody tonight?
Thanks for filling in. You're our Stacy tonight, all right? So if I call you Stacy, just go with it, okay?
Yeah, we're both in Michigan, so.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's close. It's close enough.
Yeah.
And we have the toy soldier photographer himself tonight, Mr. Joe Baker. How you doing, sir?
Good. Good to be here.
Great, man. And finally, over his sickness and still in Canada, but we're gonna see if he makes it through the night, Mr. John Salatellis. How you doing, sir?
Hey, everybody. Doing better.
Doing
I
better?
don't sound it, but
Well, hopefully your internet won't crash, man.
yeah. It's been twice already, so we'll see.
Let's check out who's in the chat room first before we get started with our What's New in Your Zoo. I see Mr. Moondoggy was number 1 tonight. My sister's with us already. I met her this weekend. She surprised me at the Gettysburg show. So
That was a cool picture you posted.
I don't know if you guys can hear me with the jets flying over. Ronald McDonald's here. Stacy's sick, but he's with us. The Padres watching us.
Yeah, we miss you, Stacy.
Paul B is with us. Michelle D is with us. Moondoggy. Michelle D. Oh, and
Bill's here.
Bill's here tonight. I thought Bill was going to do a video tonight on his channel, but he's with us tonight. Hey, man, thanks for checking in. Michelle D. All right, so let's go around the room and say what's new in your zoo. I know we didn't have a show last week, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We did have a show last week.
George was on, no?
That's right. George was here, yeah. All right. I'm getting confused with my weeks, man. I didn't have a show last night, so I didn't, All right, so we'll go back to Rick Bradshaw. Rick, wake up. Rick.
I have a lot to show. Is that okay?
Yeah, man.
All right. So I'm going to go back with 21st century stuff. 118. Sorry, everybody, but 118.
Hey, it's military. At least it's military.
It's military. So I got a couple wagon.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's nice.
Complete with the MG34. And this is 21st century, Ultimate Soldier.
Yep.
Doors open. Nice paint job on it. In pretty good shape.
Nice.
Not bad for, how old it is.
Yeah. Anything break on it? I hear they get pretty brittle over
Yeah, I'm lucky with this one. I take, I go real easy on it with the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
The windshield will pop off, but there's not much holding it on, and there never was.
Rick, do you do anything with yours to like doctor them up after you get them? Do you dirty them up? Do you paint them? Do you do anything? Or
Sometimes, but most of this 21st century stuff is already painted,
Yeah.
so you don't have to. But I'll do like I'll do washes and dry brushes, stuff like that.
Cool.
So then I got
Half track.
Nice.
an M3A3 US half track, and this thing is loaded to the max.
Oh, I love that Pax.
And that's
This
21st
is
century too.
21st century too. The door's open. I've got a Joy Toy figure in there as a driver,
Mm-hmm.
and the back opens.
Nice.
But it's 50 caliber. It's supposed to have a 30 caliber here, but I think when I got this, it wasn't complete.
Yeah.
But still in good shape.
So that goes with that big Tiger tank you have up there, right?
No, still out of scale. Still the wrong scale. But I do have a 118 Tiger. Yeah.
Wow.
And here's this is one of 21st century soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty primitive compared to what they make today.
Yeah.
But this guy held up. I think he's actually belongs with the half track. I can't remember where I got him. He might have been in the back of it.
Yeah, he's got the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah, he's got the winter stuff on. Yeah. I got one more. Actually, got two more, but I'll show one more. 21st century. This is a German half track.
Paul B's already picking on you. He says this stuff looks pretty big for 132nd, kid.
Come on, get with the program. 118. So this is an SD KF2 half track, German half track troop carrier.
Yep.
And this I got in the box complete. And I had it. I foolishly perched it on the ledge of my enclosed porch out back, and the friggin' cat immediately knocked it off the porch. Luckily, it didn't smash into 1,000 pieces.
Did the cat lose one of its 9 lives?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. No, he's not. He got a stern yelling at though, yes. And this is one of those ones, again, you got to be careful. Let me see if I can pull this up. And I still have the box with the German still in it. I didn't take the German soldier out. So this is a nice piece. It's great. It's got the insignia on it. Really nice. I got some nice shots with this when I first got it.
I like the camo scheme on it.
Yeah,
that's
did
cool.
a nice paint job. And I saw one of these at a reenactment.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, probably 10 years ago. And it's funny how small they are and how, inside where the troops carriers, where the troop guys sat, it's tiny in there. Like they had to, in themselves in there. And I'll show one more thing just for fun. And this is the Hasbro Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Complete with the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, look at that.
And
That's one everybody wants, right?
I desperately want to open this, but for some reason, I don't want to.
No.
And this was a great line. I thought they did a fantastic job with this. I've got pieces here and there, but
Yeah. That was one of the better lines.
this one I kept in the box, and he's got his, the robes on for the map room. So pretty cool.
Did you see that message that Michelle D put up? She said the photos that could be taken with that half track, and
I already took them. I took some great shots with that. Yeah.
nice.
So I have to dig them back up and
Yeah.
repost them because I think I bought that 5 years ago, so it's been that long since I posted any pic. I bought it to open it, and I just never did. So, anyways, that's what I got. That's it.
Good. All right. Moving on to Patrick Grain.
Hey,
What's new in your zoo, bro?
in regards to Indiana Jones there, I have the Indiana Jones still in the package from the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the swordsman, with the big sword that he just shoots.
Yeah.
I got him too in the package unopened. So yeah, don't open them. As far as stuff that's new, anything new I got is all 3D printed, and if that's what the show's about.
That's what the show's about tonight, I hope.
I'll save it. But
All right.
one thing I did want to show, actually two things. So last time I was on, I think Rick asked me about my King Kong playset, and what I didn't mention that I don't think anybody's seen was that I'm a huge Godzilla fan too. So 1 year for my birthday a few years back, my kids all pitched in and got me this big giant Godzilla to go with everything. So I lost you guys.
Oh,
Yep, they are.
So
Nope.
Lost him
Don't do
again.
that. Don't do that. Oh, we lost him. He just hung up on us, man.
It's not just me.
Yep, there he is.
there you are. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Can't figure out how to turn my camera around. So, but here, I'll do it this way.
Just move the whole laptop, huh? Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we can
Big
see
old
it.
giant Godzilla, along with
Next
my
to King Kong.
yeah, and that's not actually Rodan. That's just a big giant pterodactyl. But I thought I would paint it up like Rodan when I get a chance.
Yeah, it looks to scale.
Yeah,
that
so-
I had that
NPC.
Godzilla. He's huge. That
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is gigantic.
yeah, and it's still brand new. Well, new old. It's still in the box. It was never taken out of the box.
Yeah.
So, and
And you
I
got
really
the
don't want to open it.
No, don't. He
Oh.
commands quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they paid for it, but I know most of my family pitched in for it for my birthday. So,
Oh, nice. And you
Yeah,
got the
good
Leonard King Kong. Cool.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a
And
cool
then-
figure.
Then the other thing I wanted to show you was, I don't know if you guys remember the movie it's called Land That Time Forgot.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm working on a place that I wanted a submarine to go in it. Can you see it back there?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm just messing around with some foam to see what I can come up with, so I can
Definitely,
have a 1/32 sub to go in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was
Anxious to
it.
see how that turns out.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how it turns out too. Now I just need a Doug McClure figure to go in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you can 3D print that, right?
Well, I find someone to do it, I guess, or just find one. But you know, if you want to have a custom 3D figure made, they're really expensive.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're crazy.
You mean
expensive.
the face sculpts?
Yeah, for someone to digitally sculpt one for you for 3D printing, yeah. So,
I had Spera did the John Wayne face for me for $100 for the whole figure. Sculpting.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. They're expensive.
Compared to a character figure in America, it's not.
Yeah. So, but that's
All
all
right.
I got. So,
Moving on to Joe Baker. How you doing, sir?
All right. All right.
What you got new?
Well,
What's old is new, right? Come on. Ah, the old blue and the gray set.
can't see anything, but
Yeah, we see it.
this was a Facebook Marketplace find.
Wow. Did they charge eBay price or Facebook Marketplace?
Well, that's a story. And not only that one,
Oh man, you got two of them.
two of them.
Nice.
So here's the story that it popped up on Marketplace, and the price was, kind of low medium for 60% full set type thing. And so I jumped in quick and made an offer for less because it was
Yeah.
incomplete. But I didn't look at the pictures good enough because I just made a bunch of assumptions that weren't true. That I thought there was stuff in both boxes. And there's only stuff in one, and condition was really poor and everything like that. And so I was, thinking, oh boy, I really put my foot in this one. But ended up talking with the guy. He understood, went down on the price, and turns out that he's cleaning out. He's been a collector hoarder type, and he was cleaning things out. And this was in the attic, and I went in this and looked inside and realized, there's 2 ambulance tops in here,
Mm.
and there's 4 mortars of the big black mortars.
Yeah, the big ones. Well,
So that means there were 4 sets.
yeah.
at some point in time. And he said that, his cousin had them and they played together, all indoors.
Put it all together.
So I'm hoping that he finds the box with everything else in it
Uh,
somewhere hidden up there. Because there's a few extra pieces that show other sets and stuff. So I'm hoping I built the relationship to get hold of the other stuff when it comes in. But 2 nice boxes, and I have this stuff to put in it, so it'll be nice.
Nice.
nice, cool.
Would Rick Eber have purchased those? Let me ask you that.
No.
No?
He likes C8 or better.
Yeah.
And these are C4, maybe C3 in the boxes.
Yeah.
But I like that. That's in my league.
All right. Is that it?
Yep.
We good?
That's it.
All right. John, you sound like you're dying, man. Are you okay, man? Making all kind of noises.
You can actually hear that?
Oh yeah, we can hear all that shit,
I
man.
should have muted it. Sorry, guys.
I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is he doing, man?
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not muted, man. We heard everything.
You gotta show me how to mute. Do I just press the microphone button to mute? Or?
That's on your end, not on my end.
Yeah, that's it. Do I? That's what
I think
do?
so. I think if you hit the microphone, you'll get a drop down that'll give you mute or something. Like that. I think.
I'll try to be really, really quiet from now on. So what did I get? I got a nose spray and a puffer, but those are not in 132 scale. I actually maybe not. So yeah, I got a few things. A couple of weeks ago, I got a 130 Forces of Valor Matilda tank in this weird, actually in the paint scheme that I haven't seen before in the
North Africa, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And the line they have it's another paint scheme that I always that always comes up. But when I saw this, I jumped on it, and it wasn't very expensive as well. So this is one. I also got another Stuart from the 21st century, slightly different paint job than the previous one. It's a little darker. Plus, it's got the insignia here, the star with the round, with a circle around it. And I did get a King and Country duck, a duck W, actually called the Donald duck here. This is pretty massive, actually. For
oh yeah,
oh wow.
Yeah. Now this thing came.
Did you do all that? You put all that in there, didn't you?
Actually, all this stuff. This is a weird story. So all this stuff does not come with the actual vehicle. It comes.
Yeah.
The vehicle comes with a stowage, but it's all glued together, and it's all green. It's a few barrels and some crates. So all this stuff is from different companies. Like there's Force of Valor stuff. There's 21st century stuff, and a whole bunch of other things. And a figure that was I think a 21st. Actually, no. It came with this figure. Actually, I'll show you this, which is a King and Country German.
So wait, who made the duck?
The duck is a King and Country.
Oh, it's King and Country. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw all this stuff and I go, look up. Plus, I get a whole bunch of accessories, and it's all great. This thing comes in, and the seller had glued everything together. Basically, it was like unmovable. It was just sitting there. So I go, this is not right. It's not right. I want to be able to do what I want, put what I want inside, put guys or put different stuff. So I sat there with my trusty X-Acto knife and slowly to slice through the glue, and thankfully it came out pretty well. I sanded everything down, so everything now is its own piece, as you can see, like here, for example.
Yeah.
So I could put it the way I want, and and then I had, and of course it had no driver. Actually, the vehicle does not come with a driver.
Yeah, it does.
No, not a driver sitting in the driver's seat. There's a couple of guys leaning on top.
Yeah.
I think, but I wanted somebody to, and there was nothing because the steering wheel is so big that it's hard to put somebody. So I found this one, the driver from, if you guys remember the NPC stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The bulldozer. John.
Yep.
He actually fits perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah, so those were the 132 pieces. I did add a couple of DVDs to my military collection. I found this beautiful steel bookcase of the Saving
Ah,
Private
Oh,
Ryan.
cool.
Yeah, it's called the 200 cartridges. It's like an ammo box.
neat.
That's it. And a whole bunch of other. I rebought. I got enemy at the
At the
gate
gate. Yep.
on Blu-ray. A couple of documentaries, D-Day and World War II stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And actually, and I saw that there was a lot of Russian made World War II films that have been coming out in the past 5 years, and they're actually pretty good if you don't mind subtitles, or
Yeah.
whatever. But so I figured I'm gonna take a chance on a few, and I bought like uh,
Tankers. Yeah.
tankers. Wait, no, sorry. This is tankers. No,
Yep.
T-34.
T-34 I've seen.
This one's
Yep.
called Tanks for Stalin, and there's a few more on the way. And I did get. Go on.
Have you seen the film from like 1946 that was made over in somewhere in that part of the world where they actually still had tigers and panthers and stuff that they used in it?
You remember the name?
I can't remember it, but it was,
Yeah.
black and white right after the war.
I think I remember that. It's a real propaganda movie in favor of the Russians.
Okay, no, I don't think I've seen
But
it.
it's a good movie.
If you guys remember what it is, just message me.
Yeah.
And so there was also, I had posted a picture of the if you guys remember a few weeks ago, the Thomas Gunn Jungle Hut that I had
Yep.
bought. So I made a little fast little scene, a diorama scene with like representing kind of like the Merrill's Marauders, in the movie in the Burma jungle
Mm-hmm.
in a World War II. So I realized I didn't have that movie, so I bought that as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And,
it's a good one.
and last but not least, since it was May the 4th on Sunday,
Yeah.
and figure what can I do for 132. So I found I have a lot of these, but this one is closed. So a nice
Oh.
Star Wars Battle Packs Unleashed. Those came out, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, 2007. These are all 132, I guess, to 130.
I was gonna say that's 132.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at you also got the bases, so they're more like the plastic platoon stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of these loose as well, but a few of them that are still.
Are they movable or no?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No.
They're like toy soldiers.
Just
like
like
Star Wars guys. So I thought I'd show it off for May the 4th.
Very nice.
And that's it.
Ronald McDonald said Dunkirk is one of his good ones. You see that movie?
Oh
Dunkirk?
yeah. I love Dunkirk. I mean, I love Christopher Nolan, and but yeah, it was a really, really good movie. And I ordered that on Blu-ray because for some reason I didn't have that on Blu-ray. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And actually, one shout out that I want to do, like I don't know if any of you heard the Plastic General's new theme song.
I did. Yeah.
Hilarious. Dude, if you're
cracks me up,
watching,
yeah.
mad props, man. Had me laughing for at least 2 days.
I'm assuming he did an AI thing with that and just put in words and.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he knows some guys that do it for him, but.
Yeah, no, it was really, really funny. Great stuff.
I get scared every time I got him on my show because I don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah. So, all right, Joe Baker, where do you want to take this show tonight? Which direction, man?
Well, I just thought that that with 3D printing, I'd watched your review of the Toy Soldier Central figures, and realized we're getting quite a few options now for 3D printed figures, and I thought that it might be good just to sort of share for everybody some of the pros and cons of the different places to get them.
Yeah.
And if there's any tricks to getting what you really want out of the different suppliers. And I knew that, you knew Toy Soldier Central and Spira. I knew Spira. Patrick knows the tank printing people, plus probably several others. And I don't know where everybody else is. But that'd be just good to kind of talk a little bit about the options.
Sure. I see a
So-
lot of people popping up on eBay saying they're printing stuff, but I'm not sure if they're just going to Thingiverse and, printing figures that are already existing and just charging more money, or if they're actually like making them, artists that are actually making the stuff. So
It's both, like we're Toy Soldier Central, the figures that you were showing were ones that came off of like CG Trader or another site where they downloaded the files and printed them out.
Yeah.
Which is fine because they give licenses for that, but they're not their own sculpts.
Gotcha. Bill, who was on our show a couple weeks ago, said Josh in Gettysburg 3D printed him a whole Fort William McHenry, man.
Holy smokes!
That took days to print, I'm sure. Scale is over 8 foot across. Oh man.
So there's another one, Josh from Gettysburg.
Yeah, and I don't even know who that is. If he's got his own website or if he's
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah.
Through Messenger about a Waco glider, but I don't want to say nothing bad, but I hadn't heard back from him yet.
Yeah.
So
that's all right. So I contacted the owner from Toy Soldier Central since I've been buying a lot of his stuff, and we got him locked on for the 27th of this month. So we can actually Luciano. He's the owner or co-owner, I think. But he did send me a new video on his latest ones, and he said they just upgraded their resin, and it's almost like remember the Conte original rubber ones? You know how they were rubbery?
Yeah.
That's how flexible this resin he's using is, and he sent me a video of it. I mean, it's amazing. I'm gonna have to pull it up for next week, but he just sent it earlier today, so I think we're coming a long way.
Them, right, Patrick?
yeah, that's what these ones are. They're real flexible. I mean, they're not rubbery flexible, but you can bend them and
Don't break
stuff.
it.
So,
I mean the ones that he sent me this last batch, I have to use the hot water method to straighten the weapons out. That's how bendable they are now.
yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to paint up though. I washed them in hot water with a toothbrush and soap, and I got everything off of them I could.
So that's the Toy Soldier Central.
Yeah,
that one there?
Yeah, I bought both of the paratrooper sets.
So how do they? Yeah, you want to scale up though, right? You
yeah, I asked him if he could print in 130, and he said, "Yeah, just order the 132nd and put in the note there. Can you please print in 130th scale?" And he did. Yeah, and they match up real nice with Conte and Britton's and Plastic Platoon and the Mars 3D printed stuff. They match real good.
nice.
How does that compare? How does the Mars new 3D printed stuff compare in the material with, for example, Spira or Toy Soldier Central? Does anybody know?
Yeah. I know that they're like resin, and if you drop them, they're going to break. Because I've dropped a couple, and
Yeah,
they are all upgrading to more flexible.
But they glue together real easy though. A little super glue, right back together. So,
and in Indy, I know he does 3D printing for 1/6 scale stuff for us, and he said it's a good idea to get yourself stuff licensed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you come out with your own ideas.
I think that was originally how most people got their money, was doing the sculpts and then putting them on the sites and then selling the licenses. And then all of us who don't want to take the risk of learning how to do it and everything have supported these other businesses.
This is another one, Swamp Fox. I did some reviews on their stuff, and
yes. Oh, they have Tank Cruise coming out apparently. Okay.
And Swamp Fox, I think those might be their own sculpts and stuff. I'm not sure of that. They didn't look familiar to me.
No, I haven't seen those anywhere either. Yeah.
I know James Viola is doing a lot of paint jobs on those guys. He said he likes them. So
great paint jobs.
Yeah.
And but again, that not all the sculpting is equal. That I don't know if you can see this guy.
Hang on.
But he's just a little blocky, a little
Yeah.
shorter than say
That's Toy Soldier Central.
yeah. Well, it's the same one that Toy Soldier Central would
Oh,
print.
okay. Gotcha.
Again, I don't know the name of that sculpture of that sculptor, but if you went to CG Trader, you could probably find the files there to download. And then a lot of stuff, Art of Jail Studios, who has a lot of things, World War II and others on there. Some of those that you got and showed were his work, and he does good work. Not as good as the Spera sculptor, but but some of his pieces are just as good.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think Spira really started all this, don't you think? I mean, when it comes to our scale.
No, there was another. There was one that was. I think it went out of business now, but a few years back it was around. I can't think of what it was called. Shapeways, maybe.
Well, Shapeways is a place to download the files, I believe.
Yeah.
And you could probably order printed.
Yeah, because I've ordered through them.
Yeah.
I think Shapeway. I don't think it's around anymore.
Yeah.
So.
But
the guys that do the printing for us on 1/6 scale, they say Thingiverse is where they get most of their files. So, but I don't know if they carry 1/32.
Spira was interesting because they were regular printers, and they had a friend who was really into 1/72 scale American Civil War, and so they worked with him to get started. They were doing it for him primarily as a friendship thing, and that was where so many of their original files, they were very heavy Civil War at the beginning, came from, and they were based for the little guys. And I think I was one of the ones who first encouraged them to really work on the bigger scales and things. But though Harold Auden is I don't know if you guys know him or not. He posts the massive battle pictures of Gettysburg and the cyclorama and everything you'll see on some of the sites. Has a huge collection and paints incredibly. And he would have the Spira figures in his dioramas. And that was where I first heard of Spira. And but I was hesitant to try to order them because 3D printed sounded so fragile to me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I started taking the Spira stuff to the shows and things, was just to show people what it was and give them a chance to hold it and see it and just get their imaginations go wild, because with 3D printing there is almost no limit to the imagination about what is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
We forgot about Warhorse Miniatures. I mean, he's
and he's doing
Mike.
Very interesting stuff.
Now, does he sculpt his own stuff? I forgot to ask him. Does he?
He has someone he's working with.
Okay.
Who does the sculpting? He designs the poses, I'm pretty sure, and what he wants, and probably gives him a lot of the uniforms and the things like that. But he has somebody else who does the sculpting. Now he's about to retire, and so he's looking forward to being able to put a lot more time into what he's doing.
So I saw him in Gettysburg this past weekend, and I was begging him to come on the show, and he said, "I'm all yours in December." And I said, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, "That far out?" He goes, "I'm retiring this year, but I'll be free in December." He said, "I'll tell you anything you want to know." And I said, "All right, man." So,
and
we got Warhorse Miniatures coming on in December.
Make it a Christmas special.
Yeah. Definitely.
So,
Paul B wants to know. Need to get somebody on here to explain the whole 3D print and trade. I think that's what will happen on the 27th of this month when we get Toy Soldier Central on, because it sounds to me like they're really making a dent in the market. Getting their name out. They're not just printing a couple things on eBay.
You were saying that they were only charging about $3 a figure when you buy a dozen or so, right?
Yeah, most of his sets had 15 to 16 figures in it. I mean, because when you look at the price, you're like, oh, $40, $45. I'm like, yeah, but every figure was different. There was no duplicates in there.
Yeah.
And you're getting like 16 figures. Some he's even thrown in like barricades and sandbags and things like that. So, I mean,
that's a great price. Sparrow is twice that. Warhorse is $7 a figure he tries.
Dude, I bought 7 figures for $42 this
Yeah.
past weekend, but
But again, that's been the market, and so
yeah,
so Toy Soldier Central is setting a lower price alternative.
Yep.
But just
Well, let's hope everybody follows suit.
yeah, right.
That'd be
Joe,
nice.
Joe, since you've been dealing with Spiro for quite a while, I mean, I know they you can create some custom figures, I guess, if you send them the files, or if you send them, I know they did it for me. Actually, I wanted him to kind of duplicate, the figures or the Conte figures on the church playset, the St. Mary Eglise, the
Parachute guy hanging off the.
yeah, steel and the guy bending over the the German.
The German.
Yeah, so he kind of did that. I mean, I sent him pictures of just photos. I didn't have the obviously the files, so I got a couple of things. But I'm saying when it comes to like structure pieces or vehicles, I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who do the vehicles, but because I want to recreate, I want to find a 132 version of the Stalingrad Marmalade fountain. The one with the children in the middle, the one in the, if you guys remember from Stalingrad. Yeah. I mean, I got it in a 160 or one, possibly even 172. Actually, I used it in one of my shots, my diorama, but forced perspective with some soldiers in the back and just focusing on the thing up close. But would they do something like that? Do you think, Joe? Like in your opinion, or?
I don't know. I have not dealt with buying any of the layer by layer string 3D printers that I think are usually used for the buildings and stuff like that.
Okay.
They might be able to. That may not be that big, but there's a limit on size for the resin printers of what they can do. I look at all the things I see advertised for like 28 millimeter or whatever, the buildings and all that, and I just wish it could be done in bigger scale, economically. But
absolutely.
But again, hearing about that Fort William Henry,
wow,
that makes me think something could be possible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would really like to talk to somebody about what it would cost for a 132nd.
Well, Rick, did you buy anything from Jim Egner or Brad Curry? I mean, they print in 1/6 scale. I mean, that stuff's pretty big.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But that stuff's not cheap, I don't think.
No, I mean,
it takes a lot to do, and it's very time consuming.
Yeah. He made me Jim Egner a couple years ago I wanted a jail cell in 1/6 scale. And, he designed it, came up with it, sent it to me. I mean, it's sweet, but I mean, he did say it took a while to print, and I don't know if he uses resin or filament or what, but I mean, there was no lines, you couldn't see it. It was good quality, but, so.
Well, I mean, I've seen the stuff on Cotswold.
Oh yeah.
Sean Huxter makes and stuff. And
Sean Huxter. I mean, he's amazing.
Nice stuff. Yeah. But again, not cheap.
No. And he'll only make like 10 of them. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to get on there and buy it right when it's ready. So,
Yep.
One of my dreams, I don't know if you can see this or not. Where am I? There I am.
Right in front of you.
It's just too shiny. But,
Eastwood?
Eastwood. It's supposed to be Clint Eastwood. It looks, pretty good if you could actually
I recognize the hair.
Yeah, Josie Wales. But I saw these on eBay once upon a time and bought them because I was thinking that, if you could just scan these down and shrink them in and put them on another body, how cool would that be? Because, they, not even, you have all sorts of different.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah. And
so who made those for you?
They were just off eBay, like 10 or 12 bucks or something like that.
My buddy here, Andy in Indy, he's the one that he made my head and he made a lot of other people 3D printed.
Yeah, he did mine.
So that's right. He did yours too, right?
Yeah.
So, he'd probably be the one to talk to about, some of that. But
he's in the chat room right
process,
now.
You can't just drop those into another figure, or at least I would have thought you could, but I don't know.
I think you can downsize them.
Where's your 3D printed head, dude? Here's mine, man.
Oh, he's back there somewhere.
My big head.
Yeah.
They got the hair right.
Oh hell yeah, man.
They got the eyes right.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
That's cool.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. So
We lost.
Hey, anyway,
you got to see Rick's, man. Rick's looks exactly like him. Glasses and everything.
oh
Man.
no, let's see this.
Yeah. It's 3D printed head.
This isn't 1/32.
No, I know,
No.
but look at that.
Oh, wow, my God.
You got the shirt and everything, bro. You wearing a blue-
Man, you need a Starfleet uniform.
Get it closer to the camera, man. That looks awesome. Yeah.
Turn your profile the same way.
Yeah, turn your nope. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Right there, man. Dude, that's
It's creepy.
that's the promo for the next show, right
I'm gonna do a whole show like this. Hey, what's everybody? How you doing?
there. Well, are we gonna take our figures to the Kentuckiana show? and
Yeah,
just,
we got to take him to Kentuckiana.
Yeah, we're just all gonna walk around with our 3D printed bodies and heads.
It's all about the glasses. You got to get the glasses right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. Paul B says it takes 4 hours to make 8 figures in 1/32 scale. Depending on the printer. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Andy does much with 1/32 scale. He said he does 28 millimeter stuff, so I guess that's even smaller yet, right?
Yep. Yeah, I often wonder how many printers Spira has going at a time.
Oh man,
You know,
he's probably got a room full of them by now,
I'm,
right?
I'm sure, and I, again, I am in awe of what their sculptor can do and how many, things they can put out in a short period of time. The clothes are what is the hard thing. So,
Yeah.
you'd pay more for the first sculpt in a uniform, and then
Sure.
much less for everyone after the first. So
Yeah.
it's, it just, to me, it's amazing because, a regular sculpting like Conti does, I would guess those things cost $500 or $600 a piece, to pay the artist to do, the amount of time that goes into it and stuff. I don't know that. I have no inside information, but, they do it with a wax buildup method that is really interesting to watch.
So how do they do the foam injection pieces? I mean, that's not 3D printed, right? Those are just molds and casts.
Yeah, that just molds with that they put the foam in. They make a cast. That somebody sculpts the original piece.
They're not making that. They're not putting that foam in at home, though, right? That's like
that's all. That's Atherton who does all that stuff.
Yeah, Atherton. But I mean, Formtech and those guys. I mean, where did Conte get his? Was that Atherton too?
Yeah, that was Atherton, or
he did
it was Formtech probably back then.
Formtech was Atherton, yeah.
Right.
So who did all the made all the buildings and everything?
Well, let's see. Early on, it was Ken Olsen did the sculpting, the guy who owns Britain's now. That he was with Conti when Conti started. So he did I imagine he did the Warlord Tower, and the Zulu buildings, and the Bojest stuff.
Yeah.
I would think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Jim Klaus did all Barzos.
Yeah, I knew Jim Klaus. Yeah.
Maybe not the early ones, but certainly most of them. One of the problems going on now between the people in the business is pieces of using the molds by some of the other people are turning up out there without permission, and that gets messy. But
I just ran into that issue right now with my boxes, actually.
oh dear, I was afraid of that.
Yeah. So.
Why though?
Well, I knew the one artist of the one picture I want to use for a D-Day landing one, Omaha Beach. Larry Selma. He did a lot of artwork for G.I. Joe boxes and stuff, and we've had him on my show before. So, and I sent him pictures of the box. I said, "Hey, man, I'd just like to use one of your pictures for the lid." And he's like, "Well, I kind of sell those to another company, and then they, have the rights to it, so I got to check in." I was like, "Oh man, like I didn't know." He's like, "Oh yeah," he said they can get pretty nasty. I mean, he had no problem, I don't think, me using it, but he technically doesn't own it anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, well, even if I'm only making like one box for myself, I mean, I guess, but then once I show it, they know I have it, I guess, whatever. So,
Yeah, but as long as isn't it okay as long as you don't sell it?
again, I was
No?
selling them at the show, so I guess I'm in trouble.
Well, that's
I only
different.
made like 3 boxes, but
If you want to make a one for yourself, for example, and just show it, I mean,
yeah.
And
The printer shop that I go to had no problem. He's like, send me whatever you want. He said, I'm just duplicating. He said, you're pulling it off the internet. He goes,
I remember when I had Ron Lazordi make me a Scarecrow of Romney Marsh box.
Yeah.
That was. Don't show this one on the internet, please.
Hey, Andy.
that's
How you doing, man?
Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Andy and
Hey
Indy.
there. How are you guys?
This is our 3D printer guy. How you doing, brother?
Hey, doing fine. I'm sorry I'm all scraggly and everything. I was in the middle of something else.
We were just showing off my head that you made us. Me and
Yeah, I saw.
we had some 3D printer questions, and we said, "What the hell? You're already in the chat room. Why don't you just jump on?" So
Sure. Glad to be there.
Yeah.
Trying to see how to get everybody else up on here on my phone with me.
it's probably not going to
I
happen.
just
You're
see
too
the-
small.
Oh well.
Yeah, if you're using your phone, you're probably not going to be able to do it. But so ask
Okay,
away in the
yeah.
chat room. We got the 3D printer guy with us. Maybe you can answer some of their questions. I saw that last one you just put up. You were saying about 54 millimeter. It takes about 2 hours.
Yeah, the heads are about 54 millimeters tall. So to do that many layers, it only takes about 2 hours on one of my cheap 3D. I have a cheap 3D printer. I did not get a good one. It's just a little one for miniature that I got specifically for miniatures. You can get one similar to that for about $200 from lots of different places, and it takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to print a head, and you can fit about 6 of them on the build plate. It's kind of small, but you can get bigger printers if you're willing to pay the big money for them. That will print out something as big as something that'll print out is something as big as a GI Joe, a 1/6 scale figure all by itself. And something like that with that much area, you can put a lot more pieces on there.
Yeah.
And some of the ones that are out there will print almost twice as fast as mine.
So where are you getting your files from? Are you making them, or are you? Well, obviously the ones that you made of me and him, you're making that, right?
There are a lot of them that I make myself, and a lot of them that I modify from somebody else's file. For example, if I were to make a bunch of soldiers with different heads and different poses, I might take somebody else's figure and then use a program like Blender to repose it and stick a different head on each different pose. So you'd have different soldiers, ones that look different from each other.
Your sound went down. Are you covering up the mic or what? You're a little bit.
I might have
there you
been.
go.
Sorry.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, you're back there.
Okay.
So
Do you do any scanning work?
I don't have a scanner. What I normally use instead of a scanner is 3D modeling, generative AI 3D modeling. It's cheaper than a scanner. A good scanner is really expensive, but the generative AI, if you get a couple of good pictures of something, you could make anything. I could probably get a passable Doug McClure just from screenshots off of the Land That Time Forgot.
There you go. All right.
now, when you say you can print six heads, are you talking 6 1/6 scale heads on there? Or?
Yeah, 6/16 scale
So you could
head.
pr-
So
you could
that
probably
would be
fit
about
what?
the one.
So when it comes to toy soldiers, how many could you fit on a plate?
If I did if I did 54 millimeters, they're about the same. They're about the same size. They're about the same height. They're just a little wider, but they're usually thinner. So you could usually fit 6 with no problem. Probably could get 8 on it. So it wouldn't take a lot to be able to print up a set of 17.
figures.
You know, you could do that in a night after work.
Yeah.
You are using filament, though. This is a layer by layer printer, or is this resin?
This is my resin printer. I have both filament and resin printers, as well as a CNC if I need it.
Okay.
So I'm mostly a maker more so than a collector. So I just kind of make things because it's fun and because I'm a little crazy.
You fit in right with us.
No, really. Right?
Yeah, really. But yeah, so if I want to, I might one day build a little electronic gizmo, and then the next day I'm doing a G.I. Joe head, and then the next day after that I'm fixing a toy that I bought at Goodwill, because that's what I do.
Paul B in our chat room wants to know, why don't more people use colors when it comes to the resin printing? It seems a lot of them are just that gray color. You know, they all print. Is that the cheapest resin color to go with, or is that just?
There's some limitations in the way that you can do color. I play around a lot with color. I'm one of the few people that I know that mixes professional dyes in with that in order to get a stable color. But the more of that you mix in, the more color, or the more intense the color, the harder it is to print with it. It takes longer to print each layer, and over 1,000 layers that adds up, and an extra half second per layer adds up for the print times.
Now you're talking the filament one, not the resin. Or are you talking resin?
No, I'm talking the resin.
Okay.
Using intense colors in resin is it's harder to get the resin to stick together. You'll get more failures, and it's a level 3 sort of deal. Level 1 is stick the file in and you can print it. Level 2 is I can mess around with the file a little bit. 3 is I can do something really funky. So it's kind of a thing that you wouldn't really mess with without being pretty experienced in figuring out what to change to get it to work right.
So if Joe Baker wants to create his own line of figures and he wants 7 or 8 figures, what's the best printer for him to get? What's a resin printer, I guess, and try to
if you're looking at 54 or 28 millimeter scale stuff, resin printers are going to be really the best in terms of overall quality. You can get some really overall quality for the price. You can get some really good prints out of some of the newer printers that are out there, like the Bamboo Labs Carbon X1, and they have a cheaper version that's only $700, but not $1,400. But you can do a lot of really good detailed multicolor prints with stuff like that. But there's more things that you have to adjust to fix a problem if you run into a problem.
Yeah.
With resin, there's really only 2 things you can adjust: how long the light stays on and how quickly you pull up the build plate. So it's a lot easier, actually. You just have to be meticulous about working with the chemicals, because there's some nasty chemicals in it.
You mentioned that not using a scanner, but the other process you mentioned. This again is a 5.5-inch figure that's long out of production. If you had that, would that be something that you could make a computer file of and do something with, or would that just not be a process that would work?
Yes, I could make a file of it. Paul, ask them how quickly I get around to doing complicated projects.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
compliment.
if you're talking about the head I sent you, you did that in
Yeah,
an
yeah.
hour,
I mean,
hour or two.
It takes time for me to get around to doing things because this is all just spare time trying to keep my ADHD happy. But if you just wanted a solid reproduction, a file that was solid, didn't have moving joints or anything like that, if you sent me 6 pictures from about 60 degrees each around that figure, I could probably, just with a white background behind each picture, I could probably get you a file for that within an hour that's just a solid figure of that.
And it could be scaled to whatever scale you want.
Exactly.
Wow.
So if you posed your guy, it would be a model in whatever pose it was that you sent.
Wow. So that's what I've always wanted for some of the stuff that was out of scale, and and the copyrights that are all out of, have all expired and the company's gone. So it's glad to know it's possible. Wow. What a talent you have.
It's actually not that much talent to do that. It's really just knowing how to clean it up afterwards, because AI saves a lot of time, but it's still sloppy.
Scooter J. Scooter J wants to know if you're having an earthquake out there, or is that just you bobbling your phone up and down? Because
I'm sitting in my bedroom on a chair, holding the phone out at arm's length so that it sits there. So the reason it's bobbling around is because of that.
Because John's getting over sickness. I think you're making him sick, man. You're bouncing all over the place.
No, I'm good.
Here, let me try this.
There we go.
The world still.
I feel
You're
bad.
too far away. I can't even see myself.
That's all right. Just listen and talk. That's all you got to do. Just listen and talk.
All right. Yes, Mark. I'll do that.
Hey, so we're going to see you in Kentuckiana, right? Absolutely.
Yes, I will definitely be there. Money things have made it so that I can't do the preview and stay overnight.
Hey, Rick's coming with me and he's loaded. Don't worry about it. Rick will pay for it, man.
Yeah, no,
I will be loaded.
I snore worse than Angelo.
Well, yeah, that's probably not going to work then.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want me around there overnight. But yeah, but anyway, I'll be there and Sean will be there, and I don't know who else will be there. Hopefully Jeff will come down. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show, man. I think it's going to be
it'll be fun.
I really appreciate what you're sharing tonight. This is wonderful for you to come on.
Yeah. Thanks for
no problem.
I just want to make sure I got this straight. If I were to send you like 6 or 8 pictures of Doug McClure from different angles, you could sculpt a figure from that.
I could definitely do a head from that. The whole figure, you'd probably want that to be. I'm broadcasting live from here, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
She's waving. Hi.
Okay, just wanted to warn you before you walked in. Anyway, so shoot, yeah. So I could probably do that, but if the different frames are in different poses, it's a little bit harder. I'd have to actually put together a particular pose for that to work out with. When I was thinking about this earlier, I actually downloaded a couple of screenshots of his head so I could do the head, and I'd probably just try and find a basic pose of somebody in a sweater and use that.
Generic figure.
Yeah, the body part. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I may just put a G.I. Joe in a sweater and use that for the basic figure.
Paul B wants to know. Yeah, Paul B wants to know if he hires you and $20,000 worth in printer material, you guys can start your own company, right? Is that?
If I had $20,000, I would be doing injection molding. I could get injection molding going for about 3 to 5.
Ah.
Yeah.
Are you talking like plastic?
It's a lot cheaper than people think. You can actually use resin printers to make injection molds now.
Well, how do you do that?
It takes a lot of trial and error and understanding what makes a good mold, but mostly that's all there is to it. There's materials out there that'll handle the heat and will run almost. Well, they won't run as long as an actual metal mold would.
Yeah.
But you can use. But if you have somebody else who knows how to do investment casting, you could actually make a you could 3D print a mold and have it cast in Zamek, which is a zinc aluminum material, and it's very common to use that for molds that are for just a few thousand, a run of maybe 4,000 or 5,000. So you could actually make molds with skills that people can do in their garage.
So Joe, you know what's going through my head right now?
I can imagine. Going through all of our heads.
You know, no, not these guys, but you and me are thinking, I bet. You know those missing molds, the Germans from Marx? I bet we could just have those remade exactly the way they were. Or somebody out there can.
PTS has done most of those now. So,
not the original ones, right?
Yeah, a lot of the original ones. Yeah.
No.
Look at they have a set with Airfix and Marx Germans.
Yeah, they have a few. Do have a few. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
all the posers, but they get a lot of them.
I haven't seen anybody make a set of goose stepping, Germans. And
I don't know about that.
And the officer pointing and stuff. I mean, that
the wrong way.
Yeah, right.
Isn't he pointing down?
But I'm saying that could be easily done from what he's saying.
Wow.
Just opens up a whole new, whole new avenue.
The world hasn't caught up with what all's been available. This is like using 3 steps of maker skills to come to this realization. Out in the real world, you're still going to find people who want to CNC aluminum molds that are going to run and last for 100, 200,000 runs. You don't need that for something as simple as a niche hobby. Something like this, if you get 5,000 out of a set, and then you go pay another $500 to get a new mold recast, you're not losing money.
True.
I wonder if that's how Plastic Platoon does it.
I'm wondering, man. Yeah. But they're pretty expensive, right? I mean, they're
able to charge $10 a figure because they're limited runs, and the molds don't last that long.
Yeah.
But they're injected molded.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh yeah, those are injected.
They're probably using some simple molding, like a 3D printed mold. They're probably doing a 3D printed direct mold. Those, I don't know the exact numbers that those will run, because they're not an industry standard, but those will usually get somewhere between 10 and 50 runs with 10 or 50 presses without a problem.
And how much would the mold cost to make?
About $5 if you don't include the time that it takes to design the mold.
So wow, that probably is how they do it.
Oh yeah,
because
that's why they're only doing X amount,
100 figures or something like that of each pose or each set.
Yeah,
they can charge whatever you want because you're only going to do 100 figures.
But you don't have the upfront cost like with most injected molded.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you can bypass the cost for molding, it's just labor cost to use a $300 hand operated injection molder, and you can something like that. You can very easily have 3 or 4 different molds, and then just go through and inject one, set it aside to cool, inject the next one, set it aside to cool, and then somebody starts opening them up next to you, and then cycle them back through. So,
all right. So the 6 of us here, plus 20 people in the chat room, we all get together. We got some investors here. I think we're going to start a line of 1/32 scale.
And
figures,
I will be glad to show you guys how to do it, but I am having far too much fun being an insurance agent. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah,
That sounds thrilling. Must be good then.
yeah, right.
It doesn't make as much money as I'd like, but it's solving different problems every day, and my ADHD brain likes that, and my autistic brain likes the fact that I can memorize 7 or 8 different insurance policies and the attendant endorsements and be able to answer questions that people take hours to look up.
Wow.
Because
Good, man.
when your brain's wired funny, you do funny things.
We're at the
That's
We,
funny.
we just killed an hour real quick talking about 3D printing, man. We got to do this one again.
Well, thank you
So-
again so much for the insight.
Dude, that was great. Thanks for popping in, brother.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
No problem.
See, so we
No
did have a
problem.
special guest tonight. We did have a special guest.
There you go.
We just pulled him in from the Monday night show from the 1/6 scale and just threw you into 1/32 scale tonight. That's all.
Yeah, it's okay. Scale is just numbers. Once you've got the model, everything is available.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate you coming in,
Hey,
Andy.
I'm going to go ahead and then log off now. You guys have fun, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hey, Andy.
Bye.
All right, take care.
Well, there you go, Joe. I think you better invest in a resin printer, brother.
Yeah. The problem is I don't have a good, well ventilated place to do any of it.
Yo, we all
Hey,
got to
hey, Joe.
Does.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as the VW goes that I sent you,
Yeah.
I ordered another one in 1/30th scale, and I don't know what's happening there, but I think something's wrong because even that one's a little small. That's a 1/32 Mars figure, and yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're small.
Sometimes I think the different files just are scaled wrong.
yeah, whatever he's calculating off of, it must be wrong. But the other vehicle I ordered in 1/30, it looks pretty
Perfect.
good.
Perfect.
So
That's it. Oh, by the way, there's a box coming your way this week, so you should get it tomorrow or the next day.
oh, good, thank you.
Skull Island. I'm digging that. Is that one of those buy it on internet one like I bought a ton of?
Yeah, that's the eBay guy.
You know, there's this guy Paul Knapp. He's making really nice boxes, buddy. Just they're only $50. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So
Just don't tell anybody where I got the pictures.
No.
I don't want to get sued.
John,
Hey,
you
wait.
and I
There you
ought to
go.
get together and work out some pictures and Rick
Yes.
and make our own playset boxes using pictures of the stuff actually in a set or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
that's a great idea.
Oh,
We
what
could
I
do
like
it.
about this guy, I don't know if I told you before, but he prints it directly on the box, so it's
Right.
not a sticker.
That's
You know,
awesome.
And he does as many colors as you want. That, you know, it doesn't matter how many colors. Price is the same across the board. So,
And $50.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving those away.
yeah, I know, but I wanted to just see if it would take off, and you know, but I definitely don't think they're worth. What'd you say the last one? 120. And these
Yeah.
and these are the larger box. I mean, you're familiar with Conte size
Oh, yeah.
box. You know what they are. So, I just did that because I was tired of buying 2 and 3 boxes to keep all my stuff in. I could put I literally took like my Civil War stuff out of 3 smaller boxes and put it all in one big one. Boom, done.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I still got 2 boxes full of it and all these bags hanging over my head. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, next week, same time, same place, Toy Soldier Tuesday. I want to thank you all for being here. Any last words, John, before you?
Yeah, I actually, for those who get the Hobby Bunker newsletter or follow them on Facebook, Matt just got in a brand new collection. I think there's a lot of King and Country stuff, a lot of Builderama. I just looked at it fast before I came here, so we should be listed on the website tomorrow, the day after. That's what he said. So check that out. He's always got, that one piece, that one figure that you've been looking for a while. All of a sudden, oh my God, here it is! Can't believe it.
Yeah.
That, and LOD actually just released. I think you guys, the Rogers from the Marzo series, the Rogers Rangers, the camp figures. yeah, the guy barbecuing, the guy with the guy sleeping,
Yep.
they're all seated figures, I think, except for one, with a couple of accessories, and yeah, those are on sale now on LOD as well.
Yeah, I just placed an order with LOD this morning because I bought the Lexington Green playset.
Yay.
I found it this
I
past
saw that.
weekend,
Yeah.
and I bought the tavern to go with it. So
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You
waiting.
got to
to,
have a tavern.
I want to recreate the picture that you did. Joe. I'm waiting for everything to come in. I want to recreate that picture that you did. So, I mean, you sold me the grass, right? The lawn.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean,
you
I
got the
have
hard
everything
part.
to do it. I just
Just don't go crazy trying to set each figure up on the grass.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
on the grass. So that's my purchase. But my big purchase this past weekend was I finally found that playset, so I was pretty happy, man. But we're going to have Ron Barzo on in the near future, by the way. LOD, Ken Syak hooked me up with him, so he's in the near future. We also got Rusty Kern coming on. He is the owner and operator of Playset Magazine.
Awesome.
So hopefully we're going to keep getting some big people in and talk about the hobby, keep it going. And we'll just bore the shit out of guys like Rick that don't collect 132nd scale.
Rusty's
Hey,
probably-
did you ask Matt Murph? Matt?
Oh,
from
Matt
Hobby
too. I
Bunker?
met him this weekend at the show. Yeah, he said he would. So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Rusty's probably one of the most published toy soldier playset photographers
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
He did all Barzo's stuff and CTS's, and he's just
Well,
done so much
I
wonderful.
saw Craig Remington this past weekend. He talked up the show and wanted to come back on. Of course, Rick Eber's like, no, I don't do that stuff. I was like, dude, I said, come on, man, we got to break you down. I got to bribe you or something. So, but
What do you give the guy who has everything?
right. All right, guys, have a great week, and we will see you next week on Toy Soldier Tuesday. Night, everybody.
All right. Night.